Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bethany, and on this channel we usually talk about fitness related content. However, I'm gonna do a cross posting, so I'm gonna post this video in my fitness YouTube, and then I'm also gonna put it on my main channel, which is talking all things deconstructing from toxic religion and shining a light on problematic Christian influencers. So today goes hand in hand because Paul's father from Paul and Morgan, if you remember, Paul and Morgan posted a video a few months ago, and I did a reaction to it, and we stumbled upon Paul's father, who his name is Trainer Joe, and he has a social media. And because of my background, being a personal trainer for many, many years, and my bachelor's of science degree in health promotion and wellness, kinesiology, and nutrition, I decided to do a reaction to Paul's dad's fitness reels and the stuff that he is, promoting on social media and that kind of thing. Okay, so I did a reaction to Paul's dad, Joe, and so Joe did a reaction to my reaction. So today I'm gonna do a reaction to his reaction of reacting to my reaction of his fitness reels. Okay, his fitness and nutrition reels, right? And so I have not watched this video. I was debating on even if I wanted to pay it any mind, but I'm pretty petty, so we are gonna watch it together. So here's the thing. I don't think he realizes that the main reason why I was snarking on him is because his son is Paul. His dad completely okayed his behavior when, in my opinion, he was being extremely spiritually manipulative to his wife, Morgan. And we've gone through the video, so I won't really go into it. If you want to watch those, I'll put them in the description box below. But in my opinion, he was being very, very spiritually manipulative to his wife, Morgan. Okay. And in those comments, a lot of people who were their followers, they also thought the same thing. And so Joe, his dad, condoned that behavior, and so I just did a little baby deep dive into Joe's content, and I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll just look at some of his and do a reaction to it. And some things I did agree with, other things I was like, man, I don't really like that approach, and here's why. And so we talked about it, but a lot of the snark came from him being Paul's dad, right? So I don't think he actually realized that at all. I will put it at 1.25 because Paul and Morgan talk like sloths and freaking molasses. So I'm gonna assume he does the same thing, right? So here we go. Lose 10 pounds in 21 days. I hate that.
Trainer Joe.
Oh my God, Paul's in here. Oh, y'all, I did not know Paul was in here. This is hilarious. I can feel my face getting red and like flush because I'm already getting like, I need to calm down. They're making me upset.
We have a Backlash video that we got to get to. Should we call it a hate video?
No.
Okay, Backlash. It's by Bethany Michael Johnson, and she titled hers Personal Trainer Reacts to
BMJ, baby.
BMJ, Personal Trainer Reacts to Trainer Joe's Fitness Reels. Are you ready to go? Are you ready to play
let's go.
Her first clip?
Let's do it.
She said in her video, she introduced herself. She said for a long time, she's been a personal trainer. What else?
Degree in kinesiology. Trainer, she said, for many, many years.
Yeah.
She looks young, so I don't know how many years. And then, and an athlete. She's well qualified, maybe overqualified.
Well qualified to critique Trainer Joe.
Yeah.
Trainer Joe's. Why didn't you say Trainer Joe? Whatever. Lose 10 pounds in 21 days. I automatically I hate that. I hate it when companies, whatever, use taglines of lose however much weight in fill in the blank days. That is, number one, it's very cookie cutter. Weight, I mean, many years would probably look different to Joe because he's, significantly older than me, but I am 33. I graduated in 2017, and I got my personal training certification. The very first time I took the test, 2015. So I would say that's a long time. What, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's very nuanced. The lose however much pounds and whatever days. Okay, ugh, hate it.
Ooh, she's a little bit. You guys are getting the feeling of her vibes. She's pretty savage. She hates it.
She hates it. Yeah.
I'm savage? That wasn't savage at all. That is a very, how do I say it? A lot of people have those opinions. Professionals have those same opinions, that they do not like that saying, lose however much weight in this amount of time, because that is not always guaranteed for people. It is a very nuanced. I didn't realize I was savage for saying it.
As I'm listening, I'm like, this is going to be good, because it's going to help people understand more why we're doing, because she is asking, why would they do this? And as we go through, I'm going to give her some credit on some things. There is some nuance here, and if we were to sit down and talk to each other, I think she and I would agree on a lot of things, but it does appear she's looking for things to hate.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's looking for things to disagree about. Maybe that gets more people interested. Probably does.
Do you think she has a point when she says, oh, I just really dislike when someone comes out and says, lose X amount of weight in X amount of time?
I see what she's saying. I've heard other people say that too, but what do you want us to say? Come and join us and don't lose any weight? Most people lose 10 pounds if they dig in and do.
No, not to say that, but it could be looked at false advertising. And I am coming from a perspective of, let's say, when I was 16, probably to my first bodybuilding show in 2015, I really gravitated to those promises, right? Which legally you can't really promise that, but I was very naive and very ignorant to teaching fitness, essentially, in layman's terms, I guess. So when I see this, I don't just see false advertising. I see and I feel the emotions of, like, my 16-year-old self and other 16-year-old girls, really, or 21-year-old girls who are like, oh, I really want to lose that much weight because, of course there's something wrong with me, like I'm too fat or I'm too whatever, which that is a whole other conversation in itself. But when you do not lose that guaranteed weight, then there's for sure something wrong with you. And you're only losing weight because you think that there's something wrong with you. You don't like, because your relationship with food is disordered. That's where I also come in. And you just cannot always guarantee. Will there be some people who lose the 21 pounds or whatever? Sure. Yeah, I mean, duh, you're going to be in a caloric deficit. But again, is that sustainable? Not for a lot of people. It's not going to be, because your body cannot live overall wellness. You cannot live well with that. Going to say that caloric deficit is quite significant. Your body can't do that for a long point of time. Like, your body, in your physical body and mentally, it's not sustainable. And can you lose that weight right off the get? Maybe. Not everybody, but again, is it sustainable? No.
This for 3 weeks. What do you want me to say? Sorry? That's just what happens. Now, when she says it's not cookie cutter, and that's where, sure, she has a point. Not everybody will lose 10 pounds. Okay. But most people will if they do it. And then those that don't, we examine that. And that's one of the cool things about it. When she uses the word cookie cutter, we'll see it again come up in a minute.
Now, I do have to say, If they don't, then we'll examine. Okay, you could also put that in, like, you could also say that you don't have to, because, okay, the only reason why they say lose however much in this point in time, they're trying to grab you in, okay? However, he just said if you're not losing it, then we'll examine. Now, does that mean we will look at the diet, and if you are doing it precisely the way that I'm teaching you, then there are some other issues that we need to resolve? Or is it, you're doing it wrong. Like, you're doing the thing wrong. You know what I mean? Like, okay, let's listen, because cookie cutter doesn't work.
No, I agree with that. That's what's cool about our program is you get to listen to me, I get to listen to you. There is interaction, and there's a team of people doing this together. So there's a lot of interaction and discussion that she's not aware of.
Okay. All right.
Because you don't advertise it like that. You did not advertise it like that, dude. Like, Sir Joe, I am going off of the fitness reels and the front facing YouTube, right? I'm going off of that. If you want people to know that there's a whole team behind it, you know, if something doesn't work, we do sit down, we do blah, da, 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 then please, tell that to your audience, because as a fitness professional, looking at it from a front-facing view of lose this much in this amount of time, blah, 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 like, again, it's not sustainable. Now, the nuance part is the stuff that you are saying right now that I didn't know, that people who are looking at your YouTube aren't aware. And, I mean, of course, that's where the snarkiness comes in, because it's like, oh, what are you doing? Why are you selling this false advertising for some? Because I will stick to it. It's not sustainable. It's not sustainable if you're not doing what you're saying you're doing right now. Is like, if you're not losing the weight, we re-examine, and there's a whole team, like, they're with me the whole time. I didn't know that. We didn't know that. So, I mean, that's great. That's awesome. Super awesome for you. But cookie cutter still doesn't work sustainably. Will it work in the moment? Sure. Not sustainable.
Let's get to just get more of a feel for this Bethany Michael Johnson.
Agree.
Paul, buddy, this is my fitness account that I quite recently made. I wonder if he's aware of this channel. I wonder, well, not this, because I'm cross-posting, but I wonder if he's aware of my main channel. I feel like he might have a different opinion on some things if he knew about my main channel.
Kinesiology, which props to that. Okay, I'm not making fun of that. But
and that's cool,
Yeah.
Past in athletics.
She's done some work.
She's done some stuff. All right.
It sounds like he is trying to come about it as, like, in your face, and you can't do that, but since he's a Christian, he can't say, like, get the off of your ass, go to the gym, stop being a fat, you know what I mean?
Whoa!
Choking on my spit. Just so we're aware, I do not, nor have I, like, just so we're aware, I have not said that to a client, and I haven't said it, nor would I say that, the snark part was coming from like a David Goggins kind of vibe of get hard, and like cussing every other word. But let me be quite clear. I have not talked to a client like that, nor would I. Okay, what are they going to say?
Oh,
I'll be honest, I didn't expect
kids,
that.
get the kids out of the room.
I didn't expect that. Being a Christian.
Because we're Christians, we can't say, get that off your...
But in all reality, is that what you're saying, just without the curse words?
Kind of.
Oh, she's got him, Pet.
She got me.
She figured
She
you
got
out.
me. She got me. She has a point there. Yeah, I am wanting to jar people without dropping the F-bomb. Sorry. So yes, in your face. But in your face. Yeah, I'm just wanting to encourage people and wake them up. And yeah, we do it in a way of a little bit.
It can be...
I remember I had one guy, he was a pastor. He said, Joe, I really need help. He said, I'm going to tell you what I respond to. He said, played football when I was a kid. I respond to the coach coming up and grabbing me by the face mask. You know, and it's like, sorry, but yes. And she's saying, it sounds like she's saying she would do it, but she would just drop F-bombs when she's doing it. Okay, so many times.
No. I can see where he'd think that I do that just because I said I was coming from like a David Goggins, you know, like a Joe Rogan, like in your face, you know, kind of thing. But no, I do not say that to my clients. And like him, I've also had that is so funny. I've also had clients say the same thing, like, hey, I do not want you to hold my hand through this, which is great because that's not my personality anyway, but I need you to get in my face and tell me if I'm messing up, like really, really push me. And that's, you know, how I coach clients anyway, and have coached clients anyway in the past as well. But, it's, no, I do not do that. That is so funny. Now, if you are really making bad choices, like in life in general, I might do that, you know, but no. but he just said, I was right. Like, they're Christian, so they cannot necessarily say those words to their clientele. And to be quite fair on my side, I put those bleeps in there and they didn't. So yeah, I was correct, which I know that I was right. He tries to say that differently without really saying it, right? Like, he's still trying to be encouraging and very, like, still in your face, yet from a Christian point of view.
She's wanting to show where we're different, where she doesn't like what I do, but then in the end she says, but I agree. So a lot of this she ends up kind of agreeing with us. But not in the
end of her whole video, right? Just certain times. She's like, Trainer Joe does have a point there.
Yeah.
But she clearly has a bone to pick. All right, let's go to the next clip.
He's talking about hunger. I think I understand what he's talking about, where there are so many people who feel that hungry feeling and automatically they're like, oh my God, I'm hungry, I have to eat. Instead of, I think this is what he's saying. If he is saying this, he is a little correct. If you are in a caloric deficit, and if you are in a pretty significant caloric deficit, you are going to be hungry. That's just the name of the game. You are going to be a little hungry. Caveat to that. If your belly is growling and you are like extremely hungry, now this is where this cannot be cookie cutter. You need to get with your coach, let your personal trainer, let your coach know, nutritionist, whoever you are working with, and look at the foods that you are eating, whether you need to increase your protein, whether you need to increase your fiber, because even if you are in a caloric deficit, this is bodybuilding, like excluding bodybuilding. That is not what I'm just saying, like overall wellness, overall, you know, general population.
My favorite part of that one was, yeah, he's got a point, but if your tummy is
growling,
I'm really curious to see, please, guys, Trainer Joe audience, and those of you maybe coming over that are her audience, but like comment below and let us know your thoughts and kind of where you side. Like, is it okay to say,
are you on our side or the enemy?
Is it fair to say, like, let us know kind of where you're siding more with?
Yeah,
she's laying down some stuff. You guys know us,
and she said, I think I know what he's trying to say, right? She said, I'm a little correct.
Yeah, baby.
And then she said, basically, hunger is the name of the game. It's the name of the game. But she says, if your stomach is growling, get with your coach, get with your this, get with your that. Assuming we don't do any of that, right? She's assuming we don't do any of that. And a couple times she says, maybe he goes into this more in the longer videos. Well, you're correct. We do. And certainly if you're in my program, you're going to get all the discussion about that from me and from others.
But I can recall the story of the lady who was trying to do everything perfectly. She was trying to do the 21-day transformation to a T because if you were holding some type of incentive, if you checked all the boxes, did it perfectly, you get a Trainer Joe shirt. And there was one day
yeah.
when she was so busy, she didn't have time to eat her healthy meals.
She didn't have time to walk.
Oh, that's
she didn't
what it
get
was.
in her walk.
Okay. And ultimately, she was like, surely Trainer Joe will understand and let me have this pass because of how crazy the day's been. And you were kind of like, sorry.
Right.
You didn't do it perfectly, so no shirt. Right. So in some respects, what she's describing of if you're really hungry, you can eat. I'm kind of hearing that and thinking to myself, well, there are times when Trainer Joe will say, sorry, you're really hungry. Let's go ahead and go to bed hungry,
right,
and wake up and you can have your breakfast.
Right. So and I think that is going to be where we're different than a lot. A lot of people are like, at some point, you just got to give yourself what you want. And I'm like, no, that's the problem. Ooh. That's the problem. We've got to, and at some point, you're going to hear her say something I thought was really good. She says, I don't negotiate with my feelings. But then she says, kind of, so it's like, you got to decide where you're coming down with this. Because we do, we have an expectation and we want.
Okay. Okay, so where I'm coming from is, okay, like I did say that if you are in a caloric deficit, then yeah, you will be a little hungry. Now, if I will stand on that, if you are, and okay, I guess when I said growling, I meant your body isn't necessarily functioning optimally because you need that nutrition, right? That's what I'm saying. If you're in a caloric deficit, you're gonna be hungry sometimes. That is what it is, okay? And this is why diet is so nuanced, because yeah, if you are hungry at nighttime and you're like, oh my God, I have to eat something, okay? It could be a mental, like, you just want a snack just because you're bored or you're sad, which, like, no, I agree with him. Go to bed, and then get up and start your, like, whatever you're eating. Now, if you're at the end of your day, you have had all your calories, and you're like, man, I need something, I am so hungry, then yeah, let's go over how much fiber are you intaking, how much protein, how much fats, that's what I'm saying. However, in his reels, which he did say in his long form content, he does go more into, which is great. I did not look at his long form content because, we're just looking at reels. That's what the video was. And I did say, hopefully he goes more into depth in his long form content, which he said he does. So I think I think we might kind of agree on that part, because if you are so hungry, you could also just be intaking more carbohydrates than you need, and you're not eating enough protein, fats, and or fiber. So those could also be it. But when I say growling, what I actually mean, which I could have been more, which I could have, said, I guess, is your body is not functioning optimally because you need that nutrition. Again, if you are in a caloric deficit, you're going to be hungry. That's how it is.
People to get a breakthrough that we believe they're only going to get when they see themselves do something they didn't even know they could do. So that is,
yep.
we do that.
What I am sensing here, from someone like Bethany versus a Trainer Joe, or someone like maybe some other health coaches, nutrition coaches versus Trainer Joe, is there's definitely some similarities. Like, yes. Oh yeah, well, Trainer Joe agrees with this person in this way. This person agrees with Trainer Joe in this way. But the difference is, yeah, well, I agree with Trainer Joe in this, but. And it's that but that you're kind of like, no buts. But this person's like, well, we're going to soften it. No, we don't need to soften it. That's
right.
What
we don't need to soften it. Yes, there is this. A lot of people like, we've got to soften it. We've got to give in these situations. We've got to have compassion for this or this or this. And I get that.
But if your tummy's really rumbling, that's the butt.
Have some cake.
And you're over here like,
see. Okay, hold on.
Suck it up, and then get up tomorrow and eat a healthy breakfast.
Have you considered the possibility that you just need to suck it up?
I agree. No. Listen. I agree with this, and I am not saying, if your belly's really growling, then eat the unhealthy thing, right? And that is not what I'm saying. I am not saying at the end of the day, if you are actually really hungry, then you can have the giant bowl of cereal because you deserve it. Not what I'm saying. I am saying, if you have eaten all your calories or all your food, and by the end of the day, you, or even afternoon, 5 o'clock, at the end of the working day, you are so hungry and your body is not functioning optimally, right? Because you need that nutrition, then yeah, go through your food and keep the calories, right? Keep the caloric deficit. I'm not saying if your stomach's really growling. No. They completely didn't listen to the increase your fiber, increase your protein, maybe decrease your carbohydrates. They I don't know why they just completely like bypassed that part. I'm not saying at the end of the day, eat all the chocolate, eat all the cake, have a big old bowl of cereal, which of course everybody would love to do at the end of the day. No. So yeah, sometimes you do have to suck it up. What I am saying is if you are super, super hungry and your body's not functioning optimally, then reassess your micronutrients and your macronutrients, because carbs might need to go down a little bit, or that's why you have a coach, right? That's why you have somebody who is very versed in nutrition. I'm not saying at the end of the day, if you're really hungry, then eat the cake. That's not what I'm saying. No, I'd also have the same. Well, suck it up. That's not. We're not gonna achieve goals that way. No, I'm with them, but they kind of bypass the most important part of that.
Keep going. Let's keep going.
Ozempic, weight loss surgeries, whatever. I think what he is saying, again, I hope he elaborates in longer form videos, but I think what he's saying is instead of having lifestyle changes, you're willing to get a shot. You are willing to essentially take the easy way out instead of lifestyle changes, which I do agree with that. Let's start with lifestyle changes, control the controllables, control the things that you for sure can control. But if you need those things later, maybe we'll come back to that. I do not recommend. This is the video that I put on my main channel where people were like, yes, do a reaction, a commentary to this. I do not recommend completely taking out a macronutrient, taking out a specific food.
Ozempic.
She doesn't recommend. She does not recommend taking out a specific food or
completely
nutrient.
Right. So she agrees that we should focus more on lifestyle change than the medication or surgery. Right? She says at least at first, because that is the easy way. So it seems like we kind of agree on that.
Very good.
She says to control the controllables. And that's where it's like, okay, what do you have control over? And so that's where you might differ. That we lean into, you have control over what you put in your mouth. You get to decide what you put in your mouth. And then some people on the other end are going to say, but you have a disease. You have this. You can't just expect people to control what they put in their mouths. Well, that's not what I said. I didn't say it was going to be easy. I said you have control.
She mentioned that in, I think, clip number 1, but it's not as black and white. What about someone whose metabolism is shot?
Right. And then she says, don't take out a food completely. I think that's an interesting one to look at.
Okay.
Because she's going to say in a minute she doesn't eat donuts.
Most of the time.
Okay, then she says, except, we're getting ahead. Get into that one. Where's the next clip? We've already seen all the clips. This is just one. So she says, don't take out a food completely. Now, can we touch on that a second?
Please, yeah.
What do you think about that?
Well, I get where she's coming from. That's too extreme, and maybe you're going to be missing a nutrient that food offers, or it's just going to start messing with you. So just go ahead and do the moderation approach.
Right.
Is that more or less?
Yes. And she mentions on vacation, of course I'm going to, who cares? And it's like, well, if it's okay, is it okay to have foods you decide you're never going to eat? Is that okay? Right. So I think she's like, don't deprive yourself so much. And it's like, my wife never drinks Coke, pop, soda. Never. Not on vacation, not on New Year's, not when she's on a cruise, not when she's really thirsty. It's just something she doesn't do. Is she really being deprived? Some people never eat certain things. And I think...
No, and that's completely fine. If I never in my life ever again had noodles, I wouldn't care. And and alcohol anymore. Like, it is just not... I don't know. Just don't... not my thing. I don't like it. So... is taking out and depriving myself, which we don't talk about alcohol. Nobody needs alcohol, but like pasta, noodles. I do not have that a part of my diet. I'll make some for my husband, but I don't care for it. So taking that out, and I'm gonna assume his wife doesn't really like soda. So taking that out is super simple. But if I am super sweet eater, again, okay, a pin in that real fast. This is, I feel, and I know this is a big difference between male coaches and female coaches. Okay. They don't necessarily look at the nuanced perspective from a woman's point of view, because as I said in the beginning, women have more so the relationship with food and body dysmorphia, disordered eating habits, binge, and whatever the case may be. It is more susceptible for women than it is men. That's just, I mean, I'm not saying men don't do, but I'm saying like more susceptible, right? So it is, I feel like it is easier for a man, and I'm not like dogging on him or anything, but it's easier for a man to say like, just don't eat it. Or, well, you can't have that, take it out of your diet, than it is for a woman. Is it, and I'm sure they'd use the argument, well, that's just hard, you know, that's why people don't do it, because it's hard. Yes and no. People's relationship with food, after my first bodybuilding show, I just mentally just plummeted. And that's a whole other conversation. But I do not think it is wrong or bad, or you cannot reach your desired weight goal or whatever if you have a serving of they keep talking about cake. So if you had a serving of cake, however, that treat, that whatever, needs to be calculated in your overall intake of calories, your daily caloric intake. I just had those words all mixed up. Your daily caloric intake, that still needs to be part of it, because if it's not, then you're of course not going to achieve the goals that you're trying to achieve. But it's not a bad thing to have a piece of like dark chocolate. If that's like your thing, you're still achieving your goals. No, like you don't have to take out dessert. And I'm also coming from the perspective of somebody who deprived herself of fun food, and then as soon as I would touch a fun food or have a cheat meal, oh my god, it would blah 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 blah, you know, because that's also a mental disorder. Binge eating, disorder eating, that is a mental disorder, and that's what I was. But a lot of men, a lot of male coaches don't come from that perspective. And I think that's why, as coaching and in myself, that's why you have a lot of different perspectives, a lot of nuanced thing where it's not black and white, because you've come from, you didn't just start your weight loss journey or athletic journey, whatever you're trying to achieve. You didn't just come at it and make blue. It was linear, right? You just had to like, oh, from here to here to here. And not everybody learns the same either. So again, cookie cutter might work for right now, but it's not sustainable.
Like, that would be the worst thing in the world. And I agree that ideally you don't have to do that. And I love it. And I tell people, and it may sound arrogant, I hope you can end up doing this like I do it, because I feel like I can eat whatever I want. But I have this, what I would say is a good relationship with food, a healthy relationship. I wish you did. If you don't, it might be wise to have certain things you've decided, I never eat that. And you'll...
I think that could make it worse, brother. I think if you do not have a good relationship with food, taking that stuff completely out, I do not think that is the answer. And being able to have something in moderation, so cookies, for example, Oreos, right? It can be difficult if you are a binge eater. It can be difficult to have like, two, and that's it, because what do you want to do? Eat the whole entire sleeve or the whole entire thing, right? But a lot of men, it is so much easier for them to boop. And and I know they're going to take it like, oh, you know, she's saying it's because she's using women, like a woman as justification to do those things. No, I'm not. I'm saying that there are new nuance that there are different situations to where like he just said it. If you have a bad relationship with food, sometimes taking that completely out of your diet is the answer. I don't think so. I do not think so, because as soon as that person has like a little inkling of it, or like a little bloop, they're going to want to binge on it, versus solving the binge eating desire. Like, why do you want to binge eat? Like, getting to the root cause of the binging. Because then, if that binging part, that disordered eating, is healed, so you can start having an actual serving size of the, like, your favorite dessert. Having a serving size and being okay with it, I think that is having a good relationship with food, not completely taking it out of your diet.
Her admit that. There's things, if I eat this, it's going to create a problem. So total abstinence is easier for a lot of people than perfect moderation. That's right.
It might work now, but I do not think it's going to work in a long time. It's not going to work like sustainably. Longevity is the word I'm looking for. That is just a band-aid. It is not solving the problem.
With it, I think she's helping us explain why that could be a good way of approaching it.
Well, let's see what she says about the donuts.
Better example, I'll use myself. This is why I do not eat donuts. Because I will not just eat one donut. I will not just eat 2 donuts. I will eat a lot of donuts, okay? So that's why I choose to not eat donuts often. If we're like vacationing or something, your girl's eating donuts.
Why, Trainer Joe, do we have so much fun doing this? Are we allowed to kind of poke back at her? I already have a little, and you already have a little. You've been pretty generous.
It's funny because when I hear her and I hear that other guy that was really kind of hating on you, and then because of you, me, I'm like, well, I'm not him, but we probably do agree on a whole lot.
Let's ask him. We had another, we'll call it Backlash video by a gentleman, got a good amount of views.
Yeah.
And responding specifically to, is Trainer Joe a cult? That video.
Oh, yeah, the cult video.
And maybe we should make a reaction video to that, because he comes after us.
Should we? Yeah. And it's funny when I listen to these people, who are these people? I have, and I don't want to come across as superior, but I have compassion for them. And I'm like, I think I would be their friend. If we just met them on a pickleball court and started playing, I think we'd be like, man, you're cool, man. We'd like each other.
That's something a cult leader would say.
That is.
I have compassion for these people.
I have compassion for these publicans.
He's ignorant.
These peasants.
They don't know better.
They know nothing. But no, I think if we were out at pickleball and we were playing, we would think they're the greatest.
And
they would like us a lot.
They'd love us.
They'd love
I'm
us.
confident
I think
they'd
they
love
would really like us a lot.
Even though you were playing pickleball the other day and someone someone behind your back said, that guy.
He said, speaking of me, what was that in a tournament? He turns and he looks at a friend of mine who's watching me play and says, I'm no optometrist, but I know an a-hole when I see one. Talking about me. I hope this guy's watching, because I did not appreciate that. I must have made a call. He thought,
all right, who knows? We'll never know. But hey,
dang.
You guys let us know in the comments.
Dermatologists don't even do that. It's a proctologist. So he's not the smartest guy, I'll say that.
Hey, let us know your thoughts on these response videos we do. Dang. And would you like to see a response video to another Backlash video that came at us from some different angles?
Nevertheless, on this lady.
Nevertheless, let's go. Here we go. The donuts, she said, I never touch them.
She said, this is why I never eat donuts. And she just told us, don't eliminate any food. So she's got to admit, okay, as hard as you are picking on us, would you admit, Bethany B and J, that you kind of, we could do it. You said, don't eliminate anything. Then you said, this is why I never eat donuts.
Maybe she was talking about eliminating like healthier options.
Okay, is that what? No, because she said, well, of course, on vacation, this girl's eating donuts.
She said, when she
I'm
did
not making fun. I'm not. It's just
you are making fun.
We're being okay. Hey,
it's fine, dude. Make fun. I'm here for it. I am mature enough to know if I put stuff out on the internet, I mean, it would be silly, and not even just plain dumb if I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe they're saying that. Like, I put it out on the internet. Like, yeah, make fun. So I don't know. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't know why that's such a big deal. Because I don't eat donuts. Like, I haven't completely eliminated them from my diet, because if we are having a fun day or something, yeah, I'll try to eat something that I want, but I'm not going to add them. If I'm having a mental break day from macros, right? And we are vacationing and I want donuts, I'm like, okay, let's go eat some donuts, right? But I'm not going to eat donuts and then try to count them into my macros. Because I won't be able to eat a lot of stuff the rest of the day, right? So I don't understand. I don't eat donuts on a day-to-day basis because I love donuts so much. I don't want to just eat one or two. So I do wait for a vacation day, or I don't know, a fun day to eat the donut. Like I don't understand. I'm not completely eliminating them from my diet because I love donuts, but I don't eat them every day or even monthly or weekly. Like, what's the problem?
Try to
have some fun with
have
these.
some fun.
You gotta
with
have
it.
some fun with these.
I hope she appreciates the way we're doing this. I really do.
She had fun. We can laugh, and we all can laugh.
No, go for it, dude. I'm here for it.
She was a little harsher than we're being, I think.
I think so.
Okay,
let us know in the comments.
As long as we're
because you're Paul's dad. That's quite literally the only reason I was a little snarkier than whatever is because you're Paul's dad. That's all.
Let us know in the comments who's more harsh.
Never eat donuts. We would be great friends if we just played pickleball. And I'm going to make an offer.
The greatest of friends.
I want to make an offer because she kept saying, maybe he does this in his program. Maybe he does this. I am going to offer, if she would like to do my program 1 month for free.
Let's go.
I will let you come in. Now, don't come in with an attitude. Come in just being open. And Bethany, you're welcome to do my program for free. I'll give you a promo code if you'd like to do it. So then you can do a response on, hey, I did this program. This is what I saw. That might be fun.
Bethany, to be honest, and I know we're all having fun here, making a little bit of jabs here and there, that would make a pretty good video. And you could be honest. I did the Trainer Joe 21-day transformation. And then if you want to lay into us, you can.
Yeah, lay into us or say, here's what I like, here's what I don't like, whatever. Yeah, I'd be up for that.
I think that's
on me. It's on me.
That's really cool. I respect that.
Cool.
I think that's cool.
Good.
Any other thoughts on that last clip? Are we being too mean when she says...
This is why I choose not to eat donuts. Now, that's all we're saying is this is why I have a reason why this is not part of my...
I'm going to comment below. You're not being too mean. Like, I'm going to... Yeah, and that's another fundamentalist Christian thing, too. It's like, we want to make fun, we want to poke fun, but is it too much? Is it too much? No, calm down. You're fine.
Routine, right? She's just saying my regular. I'll have them on special occasions. That's fine. I would just say this. We have the freedom to eat whatever we want. We also have the freedom to choose not to. And you can choose not to part of the time. And I think we need to give ourselves permission to say, you know what? I choose to not have it ever. That's not necessarily horrible. And I think a lot of people are triggered by never. It's like it's going to, yeah, you're free to never have that. And it's not the end of the world. But that's part of our issue because we think we're missing out. See, in our culture, we're like, if I don't eat what I want to eat, I'm missing out. And to release that and just hold it lightly, then it's not such a big deal.
Sure, I can understand that. And that's quite literally why I don't eat them every single day. And that's why I wait till, special occasion or vacation or whatever to allow myself that freedom to eat the fun foods, to eat the donuts, because I do not allow myself to eat them even weekly, like I was saying earlier. Weekly, sometimes even monthly. Like that's why. Because I understand. I understand that freedom. And that's why I allow myself to do it. Like on a vacation or something. And sometimes not even whatever. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I don't understand why this is I don't understand why this is such a big deal.
Yeah, I agree. Call me extreme, but when I see someone, I'm not referring to Bethany here, but I'm kind of referring to what she said of like, I don't eat them. Except for I kind of go ham on vacation. And I think of someone who needs to lose...
You go what on vacation?
Ham.
Ham?
I go ham on vacation.
Oh, I'm not familiar with that.
Really?
Yeah.
In all your 63 years?
Go ham.
I'm thinking about someone who needs...
That's like pigging out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone who needs to lose 70 pounds, say, and they're like, I'm not, during the week, I'm not touching pizza. During the week, I'm not touching pie.
Yeah.
But come the weekend, or come...
I'm going ham.
Thanksgiving, or come the holidays, or come family get-togethers, I am. And I'm just kind of like,
I am ham.
I get what you're saying, and I guess I'm glad that you're not doing it during the week or doing it most of the month, staying away from that particular thing. But like, if you still have 70 pounds to lose, if you still have, you've lost some
And
weight.
not that she does.
No, again, I'm not referring to Bethany.
She's doing
here.
great.
I'm not referring to Bethany, but if you've lost some weight, but you still have 50 pounds to go,
Right, might be good.
Maybe just
No, I do fully, yes, I do agree. I agree with Paul. What's happening? I do agree. I understand where he's coming from. And the reason why I allow myself to do that is because those aren't my goals, right? So if I did have extreme goals and or I had a client who had those types of goals, absolutely, we're doing good during the week. I mean, I've heard it. Trainer Joe, I'm sure you've heard it. I'm good during the week, and then the weekend is just blah, and I can't achieve my goals. And it's like, well, yeah, no kidding, because of what you did during the weekend, right? So I am not saying that other people should do that, right? If I had, which right now I don't necessarily have a weight/aesthetic goal. However, if I did, then for sure, the vacationing, all my Tupperware, all of my meal prep would come with us, all of my already prep meal, whatever. And I wouldn't go out to eat. I wouldn't do those things. Absolutely. The same with, clients, right? If you're going on vacation, if you are going out of town, whatever, you still need to hone in on those macros, hone in on those already prepped meals, already whatever. I'm not saying that I'm not saying on a weekend or vacation, Thanksgiving, Christmas, whatever, then just everything goes out the window. I'm not saying that by any means at all. I allow myself more flexibility. So I do completely agree with what Paul is saying here. But yeah, that's not where that is for sure not where I was getting at.
don't touch it at all.
Maybe just
don't touch it on the
wait.
weekends.
Just wait a little
Don't
bit.
touch donuts on the weekends. Or I won't even
Maybe
use
it's
donuts.
not time yet.
Don't touch pie on the weekends. Don't touch pie on vacation.
Yeah, don't talk about donuts.
Touch pie when you're at family get-togethers. Lose the weight
That's
that you
part
need
of the
to
problem.
lose.
That's part of the problem is that mindset that I shouldn't have to go through this. It's like, do you really want to get there? Because maybe you're going to have to go through something you haven't been through, and stick to this. And that's a mindset thing we're talking about.
Lose the weight that you want to lose, get to the weight you want, and then you can start exploring bringing the stuff back in.
That's right.
Call us extreme. Let us know in the comment section, you guys. Where do you fall with this? We hit on some things where we do see it differently. Let us know. Weigh in on some of these.
Weigh in.
Weigh in.
It's time for your weigh in.
Weigh in on some of these discrepancies. And let us know. I'm actually very curious to see where the comment section goes with this.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, guys. And again, let us know in the comments, would you like to see Trainer Joe respond to another Backlash video? All right, guys. A lot of fun. Thanks for watching. Trainer Joe, train your brain.
And transform your body.
They all have their little taglines. All right. I'm going to cut it off right there. That was interesting. That was fun, actually. I thought it was going to be a lot more worse, or a lot worse than what it was. So, any hoodles, y'all let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.